Welcome back to our Hinge SOLIDWORKS Tutorial for Beginners, Part 2. We are going to make a copy and a mirror image of our hinge, as well as start assembling both the copy and the original together, adding a pin to it, and making sure we have nice smooth animation thanks to the mates that we're going to install. So let's go ahead and get back to it. Now, we want is instead of having a cutout of the hinge section here at 1 and 3, we want the cutout to be at 2 and 4. So we need to have a mirror image of this. We also need it to have these guys pop out the back side as well as the front side. The mirror tool can be very useful, and it can be also a little daunting. So we're going to go ahead and just give it a good old college try. So first off, we need to select the surface we want to mirror. And it's like, think of it like the water. It's the surface that we want whatever's on this side of the selected surface to come over to the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and hit this surface right here. And I want to go ahead up to Insert. And we're going to mirror the part. And it's going to mirror the part on that surface that we selected. And it's going to make a brand new part file for us. So I'm going to go ahead and mirror part. And then I'm going to go over here and check mark green. And what it did is that now, if I orbit this a little around, now the cutout is instead cut out at 2 and 4. And I can just pop on down here and open up my other one. And this one still has a cutout at 1 and 3. So now we have two different hinges that are both equal distances to each other. Now, I need to go ahead and save this file, save as. I have a hinge part 1, and we're going to make this hinge part 1.5. The reason why I say 1.5 is because we still need to mirror it one more time. So in that second mirror is going to be the final hinge we want, and we'll name that part 2. So I'm going to go ahead and save this, and I'm going to go through the process of mirroring it again. This time I'm going to mirror it on its back surface. So we're going to Insert, Mirror the part. Now check mark on the left side, Insert it. And now I have it mirrored on the other side. Now, it could be a little weird to be able to see how it's supposed to work, but rest assured, it is worked correctly. And if I come down to my SOLIDWORKS tab, I should have 3 different projects open down here now. On this last one I made, I'll go ahead and save it as Hinge Part 2. And now I'm going to make an assembly from Part 1 and from Part 2. So we'll go ahead and go up to File, New, and we're going to create assembly. Assembly feature on the left side already notices which documents I have open, and I'm going to skip over 1.5, and I want to combine Hinge Part 1 and Hinge Part 2. So click that, and I'll pull it out here. And I'll insert another component, I'll grab 2, and I'll pull it out here. And already you can see how they're going to want to be easily put together. I'll move my tool so they're kind of underneath of each other. And we're going to start mating these together. The mate tool is located right here. It looks like a paperclip. And the mate tool works by combining 2 different surfaces that you want to be symmetrical, parallel to each other, tangent to each other. I tend to use this coincidence the most. But all of them work just as they sound they would. So first I'm going to make coincidence mate from this surface and this surface, and right away you know one adjusts so that they're perfectly parallel with each other. And I also want to mate the outside edge of this circle with the outside edge of this circle. And as soon as I finish clicking that, they move forward and they connect it. I'll go ahead and green check mark that I'm finished with this. And now I have what looks like an almost finished pin. I can see all the way through it. and I have working mates. And I know the mates are working because if I grab my move tool, one of these should be moving, and it should be very limited to what it should be able to move as. They will merge through with them because they're not using physical changes right now. So I can go ahead and push collide detection, and now it will want to hit. Now that I have those mates looking good, I can start working on the pin that's going to go through there. Now it's not difficult to go through the process of making a pin completely separate and putting it in there, especially if you know the diameter of the circle. But I find it a lot easier to just start creating the parts right here from inside of the assembly. I'm going to go ahead and hit my drop-down menu under Insert, and I'm just going to create a new part. And I'm going to select the surface to start making that part from, which is going to be this inside edge. Now everything went ahead and wireframed itself. The beauty of this is I can use the different shapes that were a part of these hinges to help work with me, but in no way am I going to hurt or affect the different parts. So I'm going to look at this circle right here, and it can get a little daunting to just kind of look at the different shapes. I'm going to go ahead and take my offset tool, and I'm going to offset this, and I want to reverse it so it's going to offset inwards. I'm going to offset it maybe like a whopping 0.02, just so it's a little tinier than what I have. After I create that circle, try it one more time, offset this inwards. Oh, I think it's there. And we're just going to features, then we're boss extrude, and we're going to pull this all the way through. The distance will be 8 inches, because that's just how far I want to pull it. And I got the right distance. Looks perfect. I just need a cap on this, and we're pretty much done. To make the cap, I'm going to take my offset surface to this yet again, and we'll take my, where's my offset? Oh, it's under sketches. I'll start another sketch on here, and I will take my offset tool, and I think I'm going to offset a little further, 0.05 inches. And then I will extrude this one yet again. 8 inches is way too far. Zooming out, we can see how way too far that is. And 0.125. And that's still a little too far for me. I want to say 0.15. And now we have the edge of this. We're done editing this component, and we'll just stop editing component, and now we have a working hinge with the full ability to use the move tool to have it spin on its axis. Congratulations on finishing your hinge. This is just a basic tutorial for those experts in the world of SolidWorks watching this video. If you have any comments, feel free to list. And I know there's more than one way to build everything in SolidWorks, but all comments are truly appreciated. Have a good day.